Citizen Television.
Greetings and welcome to another episode of the Planetary Persuader. I am KozNcKev, your host, and this is for the weekend beginning the 11th of December 2020, going all the way over through Thursday the 17th. So let's talk about today, Friday the 11th. Looking in the sky, we'd see the moon in the constellation of Libra, and the part of Libra that the moon is in a lunar mansion known as Swati. Now, Swati is symbolic of a young shoot or a young reed coming out of the ground, blowing in the wind. Its ruling deity is Vayu. Vayu is actually wind. Now, the ruling planet's the north node of the moon, Rahu. Rahu's kind of vata, kind of windy, and but also there's this desire to manifest in Libra that we see. And, you know, it's like, let's balance our bank account. Let's make the money work. Let's make the house inside look a little better. Let's make another business deal while we're at it. Let's get in a good partnership. You know, all these kind of things happen. So in tropical zodiac, based on seasons, we'd say that we've got a Scorpio moon today, which would be a somewhat debilitated moon, but nothing like what we're going to see on Monday. Like, Monday? What are you talking about Monday for already? Well, Monday is, we have a lunar eclipse that morning. I think at 8:35 a.m. in the morning, Pacific Standard Time. Yes, indeedy. Yes, it's actually 8:17 a.m. on the 14th. We have a new moon in the lunar mansion known as Jyeshta, which is the very tail end of Scorpio and the Scorpion's tail. It's also Trump's moon, which I think in Western astrology it's Sagittarius moon. But anyhow, it's over there in Jyeshta. So I really think there's going to be a lot of financial changes in this new moon, and I don't think it's going to be so great for Donald Trump with this new moon. And this is the last of a series of eclipses that's going down. And, you know, it's really best to lay low during eclipse periods. That's what I've heard. So I thought I'd let you know that. And on and on. Here we go. We're going to start with horoscopes, beginning with Aries. So, greetings Aries, and welcome to your horoscope. So, from my understanding, you've had a lot of impetus to move direct. And this week, we've got Mars at going, you know, it's still not quite yet in sidereal Aries, but it's getting closer. And so it'd be in sidereal Pisces, but that's what most of you are anyhow, so don't worry about that talk. You're in a place still of great independence and a striving to take things further. And you're trying to listen to your hunches. see, now Venus should soon be going into Sagittarius. In fact, yes, it happens on when does it happen? Wednesday? Tuesday? It happens Tuesday at 8:21 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time. So that's a little different. So Venus is now in sidereal Scorpio, and it's going to, stay there, but it's in tropical, entering into tropical Sagittarius. Lucky in love, a long-distance Zoom relationship. I don't know what it's going to be, Aries, but one of those. Yeah. Well, let's go to our good old friend Taurus here. So greetings, Taurus. Welcome to your horoscope. So, we're starting the weekend out with the moon in your 7th house. And Venus is still there too, so love, There's something kind of delicious and vulnerable about that. I can feel it. But there's also something sort of vulnerable and scary about the 8th house transit of the sun, because it's like you're not really in control of stuff. And the moon's going to join there in that 8th house during this eclipse. Uh-oh. Danger, Will Robinson. Yeah, I know. Right? So I would just really lay low on Monday. Don't take on any more than is necessary. And that, that really is, that should be the rule about how to live your life for the next 3 years, really. Is just don't bite off any more than you can chew. And, it's still a lucky, better things can happen, you still have some amount of good fortune, but it's not a time to go at it alone, especially with Mars in the 12th house like that. You've got your own secret enemies that don't like you for whatever dumb reason. That's how it works sometimes. Greetings, Gemini. Welcome to your horoscope. I was saying this last week how, this whole North Node in the 1st house makes you sort of unusual. But it also has this kind of probing energy, like I want to dig up something. I want to see what's underneath this thing. I'm going to check it out. Relationship issues for Gemini are super big right now. Very packed. Well, with the Moon and Venus, and then Mercury and the Sun and Jupiter, Saturn, Pluto, all 6th, 7th, 8th house. So it's like relationship houses, relationship issues. The more you know about these planets, the more it'll make sense to you. You're still a sweet talker this week. That works. That's good for something. That's got to help you. You haven't lost it all. I also wanted to say Happy Hanukkah. Tonight's the second night of the Festival of Lights, so it's the second night of Hanukkah. So, how did I know you were a Jewish Gemini? I didn't. No, you're not necessarily a Jewish Gemini. I get that. You've got Neptune in the midheaven. It's a good time to celebrate anything or demonstrate anything spiritual. And you've got sort of a challenge social life. You could have an argument club. It's like Fight Club or something. I'm not really sure. Yes, let's turn it on over to Cancer. Greetings, Cancer. Welcome to your horoscope. So, and for you, it's pretty similar. It's a lot of relationship things. I think by now you're learning how to work with this Saturn-Jupiter energy. It's actually about establishing things of great value at kind of a slower, steadier pace. All these outer planets. Even Pluto, it's like, okay, you want this thing to last for 250 years? Let's see what you got. And boy, with the way technology and society changes, I mean, think how many changes were in the last 250 years. Think about how many changes there's been in the last 25 years. Yeah, exactly. And you look good in the workplace. You look good career-wise. You got to watch your health. And Scorpio moon's good for you this weekend. You know, that part's good. The eclipse, well, I don't know. Well, greetings, Leo. Welcome to your horoscope. So what can I say to my friend Leo? Well, you've got to pick things up. And you're in a place now where you're celebrating your heart, things of the heart. So you're feeling pretty good, really. You have to be regular, disciplined with a health regime, exercise and diet. Just stay disciplined. I know they're offering you that cookie that's got gluten in it. Probably don't want to do it. You know, it's kind of like that, showing that discipline. But you're in your heart, and this is a good time to write a story or songwriting and loving up your children, and you know, love is coming its way. It's coming your way, and it's, I guess, worth taking risk for. Okay, greetings, Virgo, and welcome to your horoscope. So, I mean, for Virgo, it's like, well, we've got to consider so many different things, and no one's got the complete story about the information. In fact, lies often get perpetrated in history books. Things that omit certain information that's severely important in the analysis of what's happened. And Virgo, you're really good at finding these things. And so I think you're called to do the good work. You've got a good spiritual attitude, and you're making things happen. You're in a more introspective, deep thing. It's like, yeah, I'm okay with going within right now. This darkness stuff, and reading old books I haven't read in a while, things like that. I'm about to get something out of it in a different way. Now Mars in Aries is kind of interesting because it's in the 8th house, so it's kind of active. And sometimes they say it can make you, like impatient. I mean, at worst, it'd be like, throwing a black magic curse on something. I mean, don't do that. It's only going to come back to you. You don't want to do that. Revenge in any form is very weak compared to love. And it takes courage to be loving. And Venus has been in your 3rd house, which should give you some courage. Venus is going to move in the 4th house. It's actually pretty happy there. So you'll be working on your inner happiness. And this full moon, it could affect your house. So make sure your home and everything is doing good. Your mother is doing good. Check up on your mom. That's what's going on right now. And we've got Pluto, Jupiter, and Saturn still in the 5th house. So being creative, creating out of difficulty and death and transformation, you're creating something. And even Neptune being in the 7th house helps with that creativity. And even the North Node in your midheaven. So you go ahead and make it happen, Virgo. Okay, greetings, Libra. Welcome to your horoscope. So Venus switches signs this week. In the 2nd house, it's kind of nice. I mean, you like a luxurious life. Sometimes you want to eat too many sweets. Occasionally, you spend too much money because you like things of luxury. That's what Venus does in the 2nd house. But it makes you more of a sweet talker. It can make you get new glasses, and if you have a pretty face, maybe you're getting makeup done, and fixing your teeth, whatever it is you're doing, whitening them, all of that. And then it goes into your third house, so which is writing stories and actually working art with your hands. You know, it's so fun to make homemade Hanukkah or Christmas cards or decorations, and you get into that because you're kind of like the interior decorator of the zodiac. So you're going to dress things up. You know, you're going to make it fun. And we've got moon in this eclipse. It's going to affect your neighborhood. It might affect younger siblings in particular, old friends from high school, elementary school. Any of that could be in the picture as well. And it's just important you stay in your heart, know what you're struggling with, but know where your victories are and where things are easy and they're good, and be grateful for those. And show up to be a helper when needed. Okay. Well, greetings Scorpio, and welcome to your horoscope. And so this is what I see right now. So weekend's pretty good. I mean, it's pretty sweet. You know, moon's been in Scorpio since last night, and we'll be there most of the day Saturday. And so, and it's just sort of like the tail end of everything since that full moon lunar eclipse. And you're like, oh yeah, good grief, you know, but then there's like, oh yeah, there's this eclipse in my second house. So it's like, don't do anything foolish with money, you know, is what I'd say. And do what you can to support your family in a positive way. You know, anything that you can do that supports your family positively, I would keep that in mind, and I would do that. Otherwise, you know, just keep your health up, and be a good lover. Give surprises to your loved ones. It'll help. It will make the relationship more interesting for them. Keep them looped. What's he going to do next? You know, or she going to do next? You know, keep them in the loop, and on it goes. Okay, so the honorary, you know, flavor of the month, Sagittarius. Greetings and welcome to your horoscope. Well, this is what I've got for you. I've got like the good news and the bad news. I mean, I say the good news is, you know, Venus is going to go into your first house Wednesday, so that, you know, help is on its way. Bad news is that, you know, when there's like a solar eclipse, new moon, they're more powerful than full moons. The effects are a lot longer. So if any of you are having birthdays right now, especially those of you born between like the 11th and the 16th, yeah, I mean, you're going to feel this. You're going to really, really feel this. Or 11th to 15th, we'll say. There's no easy outs, you know. That's what I'll say. I mean, yeah, you could be born on the 9th or 10th of December and still feel this, or 8th even. But it's, you know, if your birthday is like the 13th or 14th, wow. You know, or 15th. This is going to feel smoking hot. And you want to do what you can. I mean, Jyeshta Nakshatra, okay? That's where this moon is at, and that's where your birthday is at. And Jyeshta can sometimes have poverty, like the ruling deity. One of them is Indra, the god of the gods, who never gives up in a fight. Its ruling planet's Mercury. So there's, you know, a theme about how we communicate, deal with technology, deal with money, all these things. Well, Ala Lakshmi, Lakshmi's older sisters, is supposed to rule this nakshatra as well, and she made all these sacrifices, you know, to be in poverty. And Jyeshta is also about seniority and executive order. And so look at leaders today, and they're going to go through all these changes of leaders in this new moon eclipse. I can promise you that. And even large corporate holders and stuff, there's going to be scandal and some really weird things going down. There's just no two ways about it. And so it's like, keep your heart pure. This is a huge change, and this change may not be easy. Okay? That's basically, because I want to give it to you straight, And I'm not like predicting gloom or doom or anything like that. Like I said, Venus is coming in the picture. There's a sort of this softening to what's going to happen, but just keep a good attitude and, you know, hang on to your people. You know, that's what you need to do. All right. So, greetings Capricorn, and welcome to your horoscope. Yep. I've had a lot of people be like really afraid of when Pluto transits their sun sign, their rising sign. They're like, oh my God, I have Pluto. You know, it's like, yeah, listen. I've been living with it all my life. It's not a bad thing. Pluto gives you insights. And they're penetrating insights. They're coming from very far out. And you know, from a distance, things can get distorted sometimes. So we don't always see things exactly clearly with Pluto in the first house. Saturn and Jupiter, we're way more familiar with them. You know, Saturn's the disciplinarian. You're on academic probation. Jupiter's the gifter. Hey, you got a scholarship. You know. Yet these two work together. Okay? And they're working together more than they ever have. And so for Capricorn, you have to know that you have insights and have insights on what's good. And I think keeping an attitude of gratitude, going with grace, is going to get you out of most of these problems. Now, these problems are in the house of karma and loss, 12th house. So if you have a lot of planets in late Sagittarius in your tropical horoscope, you know, at 23 degrees particularly, anybody who's got stuff in that zone, you know, watch it. You know, that stuff is getting affected right now. And so, you know, you want to be able to keep yourself doing good. And of course, in another week, we're going to see Pluto and, I mean not Pluto so much, but Jupiter and Capricorn right on top of each other, and it's winter solstice. So this is huge. It's auspicious. It's ominous. And there's this whole energy of like restlessness, wanting to move because of Mars being in the 4th house. And if you need to sell a vehicle, you know, this is a good time to sell a vehicle. But you know, you're going to be okay. It's just like I would just lay low for the next week and a half, and you know, on season terms, it'll all be you. All right, greetings Aquarius, and welcome to your horoscope. So, I mean, this is the last week that you're going to have Jupiter in your 12th house. Jupiter's moving into your 1st house next week. That's big news. So it's kind of like, this is a good week to write a wish list to Santa Claus or Hanukkah Harry. Yeah, I know. Hanukkah Harry. I'm giving you gelt, not guilt. It's a very different thing. One you get from your mother. The other one you get from Uncle Shecky. Or Hanukkah Harry. I can't. Oh, can I even go there? Well, anyhow, we've got Sun's in the 11th house, Mercury's in the 11th house. There's a lot of social information coming through. Venus is moving into your 11th house this week. That's really nice. This lunar eclipse, this rather solar eclipse, new moon eclipse, happens in your 11th house. So, I mean, if you've got an older sibling or a respected teacher, or even, you know, there could be a financial breakthrough for you. That's even possible with this. This is actually not going to be, it's going to be relatively painless, you know. That's kind of what I see, because the financial breakthrough, you know, it might take a while to get the assets, but then as soon as Jupiter goes into Aquarius, kaboom, there's the moolah. I see it, you know. So if you've had a rough year, don't fret, you know. Things are about to really pick up in a positive way. Having a talisman, you know, like a crystal gemstone that reflects you, especially if it's like your sidereal Vedic zodiac gemstones, those things are powerful, man. That, you know, I know most of this horoscope isn't based on that, but I've learned a lot of stuff from them, and I think you do well with that right now. You know, you have a lot of courage. You your living situation, your family life might not be totally stable right now where you'd like it to be. But I mean, I think you've got it in you to work for a good cause. All right. Well, greetings, Pisces, as we're getting ready to wind up this train, end it all here in a good way. I'll give you some love. Pay attention to your dreams. Note that your social life is still active. Things are in place, even if you've had to distance yourself. You've got great career ideas. In fact, work and what you can do for the public and the community at large is bubbling. It's bubbling with good stuff right now. And all you got to do is look into that. Where can I be a volunteer? One thing I've learned though from like the sidereal aspect of astrology, Vedic wisdom, is how do you improve your karma? What do you do when things are bad? Or you don't have to wait till things are bad to do these things. So there's just 4 things that you have to do. And one of them is daily prayer and meditation. Every day, daily prayer and meditation. Maybe you don't have a prayer life, don't believe in God, don't think anything's out there spiritual. Sit by a creek, sit by some water in quiet, moving water and quiet meditation, or observing animals, birds, anything can work. But you have to do it regularly. And praying for other people to get better if they're sick or struggling economically, all that kind of stuff is good too. Any of that's good karma. Okay, so that's one. Mantras, that's part of that first one, So when I say Om Namah Shivaya, or, Om Gam Ganapatiye Namah, or Om Mani Padme Om, that, all of that, there's something to it, it helps people. And put that in as part of your practice. Be careful not to retort aggressively or violently at people that say things you don't like. Don't let their behavior determine your behavior. The deal here is that with this new moon eclipse coming up Monday morning, it's going to affect you in the workplace. It's going to be in the career house. And so whatever goes, if you can just keep a cool head Monday morning, if computers go off, or, there was some unusual, somebody decided they had to do a stick up or whatever, just, it's nothing, none of this, don't be a hero, don't lose your life over this stuff. This is not the time for that. And that's not necessarily what's going to happen. But, just keep yourself calm and do as little, if you feel really paranoid about it and like, hey, I'm going to call in sick that day, that's fine. Who doesn't call in sick on a Monday in the wintertime once in a while, right? I'm afraid I'm going to give everybody corona. They'll be like, oh yeah, please stay home. Don't give them corona. You got the rona, you better stay home. And, they've got the treezers. The trailer freezers for the dead bodies and all that. It's like, that really scares them. I like that. But other than that, you hold a lot of good to share with the world, Pisces, right now. And I just want to encourage you to do your best and share that good with others. I can't wait to be with you next week. Also, once again, happy Hanukkah to those celebrating Hanukkah. Danger Will Robinson. We've gotten a solar eclipse on Monday morning, and it's right on the President's moon. And no worries, we're all going to do the best we can. And until then, share this video. I welcome your comments, and I look forward to being with you again. Like and subscribe. Planetary Persuader.